one of the beauties of working with ABB is we move across many different market segments, whether it be water, whether it be food and beverage, chemicals, and you see totally different cultures. And for productivity to increase, some of the cultures and some of the segments drastically has to increase. So recently we did a session with a big multinational player who were in food and beverage, and we talked to them about things that could do differently to increase productivity. And their actual levels of knowledge of what is out there in the marketplace was scarily low. And they, one of the electrical engineers actually commented to us that they've literally been replacing an item every 3 months for the last 10 years, and it's just become habit. So rather than them stepping back and thinking, guys, there's got to be something we can do different, they've just carried on in that culture, in that habit, replacing. When you look at just the price and the delivery scenario, the cost of downtime is never factored in when you're working in these manufacturing sites. So typically, what is another big habit is run the product to the ground, let it fail, and then at 10 o'clock on a Monday night, everybody's running around for a replacement product, and that replacement product may take 2 or 3 days or whatever. That downtime for the manufacturer is absolutely massive, and it never ever gets recorded when you're looking at procurement of replacement or new items. And come the digital age, which is coming in now, the predictable of when products will fail and how long your asset will stand is becoming relevant. But a lot of these people need a big cultural shift. We really need to drive a culture of stepping back and looking at the long-term, mid-term effect of the product, the solution, the viability, and the predictive side, which is key. And that's a big cultural shift we have to have in the UK. Whereas when you look at other leading countries such as Germany and Sweden, these guys, it's been habit for them for many years. I think there's got to be a forum where we've got to incentivize companies to reduce carbon, to reduce waste, to upskill in terms of productivity. And again, from a robotics point of view, I've got in front of me the International Federation of Robotics, and this tells me how many robots we use per 100,000 per head count. And the UK is beneath the global average. If we take, so effectively, we are well below the global average. And we always have the discussion, well, robots takes away jobs. Some of the big countries where robots are taking up is in some of the low-cost countries. And it actually builds up jobs. So if you look at the automotive sector, I think a lot of them companies will actually admit, if they didn't automate 20 years ago, they'd probably not be in business today. Getting to colleges, to universities, getting them to learn and train on robots, on application for robots is a key thing. And you look at China, and a lot of the universities in China, I think it's a government rule that every university has to have a robot or a training course on robotics, which increases productivity. And I think COVID, through all the difficult and challenging times we've all had, it has driven different culture thinking. And just again, in terms of, we've undertaken many factory acceptance tests around the world virtually. And effectively, you look at the merits of a virtual factory acceptance test in Finland or in Italy, the company, our customer, has saved 2 days. They've saved tons of carbon because they've not got an aeroplane. They've saved the airport all the time through airports. And effectively, they've still achieved the same output because they've been able to virtually look at the factory acceptance test in the factory. I think then you look at the topic of Brexit, and you look at trade deal that's being governed across many, many countries and continents. We have to stay competitively relevant in their markets, and to have some form of increased productivity or differentiate in the marketplace for your product or solution, you have to be working with best in practice equipment.